Using a resistance band helps with stretching, strengthening, stability and mobility, and I'm going to show you how in this Pilates-based workout. I've got my resistance band, I hope you've got yours. If you don't have one, just use something stretchy like a pair of tights or a scarf, and you can even do the workout without, so just follow the moves without using the band. You'll need a mat, a little bit of space, and as ever, a bit of enthusiasm. So let's begin. So we're going to start with some standing work. Place your feet about hip width apart with the toes pointing forwards, and your band might be longer than mine. This is about the shortest that you can get them. You can double up if your band is too long, but place your hands wider than shoulder width, quite wide on the band with the knuckles on top. Make sure your tummy's in and your knees are soft. Roll the shoulders a couple of times back and down just to warm them up and position them in the right place. So just back and down there. And we're just going to raise the band, trying to keep the band at normal tension. So the arms come up and down. Don't shrug your shoulders, because remember we've set those shoulders back and down. Breathe in to raise, breathe out to lower. Try not to let your chin jut forward, so keep the back of the head in line with the spine. Hold the band gently. I've just got it between my thumb and my first finger. I'm not gripping it. Now each time I raise, I'm going higher. I wonder if you can bend the elbows and take it slightly behind the head. Don't worry if you can't, and remember, don't move the head forwards, don't jut the chin forwards. So it's more important that you keep your head stable. Your arms might be starting to ache, so make sure you're not pulling the band too tightly. Just keep normal tension. The arms should feel nice and relaxed. Lovely. Okay, so from here, we're going to take the band to about shoulder height and just rotate. Remember, keep the arms relaxed. Bend the elbows. Now I want you to try and keep the hips facing the front here. So once you've got the idea of the rotation, make sure you focus on your pelvis and don't allow that to follow the chest rotation. So the movement is at the waist. We're getting lovely movement through the spine. Keep breathing, keep the tummy in, keep the knees soft. Just one more each way. Having the band like this helps to keep your arms the same distance apart because they don't move on the band. Now bringing your arms down, still keeping the hands about the same distance on the band, but bring your palms towards each other at the back. Shoulders stay back and down, knees stay soft, tummy stays in. And just pull the arms behind. But keep the body really still and make sure you don't shrug the shoulders. So you're resting the band on your thighs and you should feel your triceps working. So this is strength work. Keep the wrists straight if you can. If you need to move your hands on the band a little bit further forward, a little bit closer together, you can. And you feel your triceps working? Use your core muscles to keep your body still. Just a couple more times. Lovely. And then maybe widening the hands on the band again. We're going to sweep one arm around to the back. Try and keep your head still. And then sweep that arm around to the front. And then we'll do the same with the other arm. So to start with, try and keep your head and body as still as possible. They may have to move a little bit. Now you can allow your body to kind of tilt over. If you have to widen your hands on the band, this will give you a little bit more leeway to get that arm overhead. If you're really struggling, try it without the band. So keep the knees soft. It's up to you. You can maybe not go all the way behind. That's another way to make it easier. So just work within your range of movement. You can't force it. You've got to be comfortable. Move slowly, move carefully. So are you managing to get that tilt of the upper body as that arm comes overhead? And then the same as you bring it back in front. So it sweeps like you're combing your hair. And then it sweeps back again. Keep your knees soft and try not to swing your hips around. So keep your pelvis still. The movement, imagine it's coming from the waist. It comes through your spine, through the vertebra, but if you think of the waist as the point between your still lower body and your moving upper body, that should help you get an idea. It will help you get a better quality of movement. I'm going to make this the last one. So remember, Not too big a range of movement. Your arm doesn't have to go all the way around the back if that's too much for your back. You can always do the workout again. Just settle the shoulders back and down, and then next time you might be able to move a little bit more. I'm going to switch the hands round on the band now so that the thumbs are on top, the palms face each other, fingers pointing forwards but then clasping the band. So you want about this much band, shoulders back and down. You can tell I'm leaning to one side. I'm going to put my foot in the band for balance. So I don't want to slouch into the supporting hip, I want to stand tall. So if you need to sort of touch down and steady yourself, that's fine. Try and keep the band flat rather than scrunched up underneath your foot. Shoulders back and down, stand tall, and we're just going to bend the elbows, keep them close to your side, and try and relax both feet, but flex the one a little bit that's in the band. And you bend the elbows and pull that leg a little higher, and try and use your tummy muscles. And try not to shrug your shoulders around. I know this is difficult. So breathe with it. I know that it works the leg, the supporting leg. Keep your wrists straight, but use your tummy muscles. If that's enough, that's fine. You can breathe down, take it out gracefully, feet hip width, and let's do the other side. So you may have to lean forward a little bit to get your foot in the band. Try and keep the band flat under your foot. You might have to touch down and stretch the band a little bit while you get yourself sorted. Shoulders back, elbows tucked in, wrists are straight, and then make sure you're standing tall out of this supporting hip. We're just bending the elbows. The leg almost relaxes in the band. Really use the tummy muscles. If you can't do very many, if it's just one or two, don't worry, that's fine. Try and keep it flowing and smooth. Breathe, don't slouch into the supporting hip. I'm just going to do a couple more. Working the leg that you're standing on, working the abs. Lovely, and I'm just going to step out of the band gracefully. Excellent. So I'm now going to bring the band around my bottom, just underneath the seat of my bottom, with the palms facing each other, thumbs on top, shoulders back, knees soft, tummy in. Making sure I'm not sticking out my bottom, so my pelvis is in neutral, and I'm going to pull forward. So keeping the hands shoulder width, and as I pull forward I make sure I don't round the shoulders, so the challenge is to keep your shoulders back and down and to keep your body as still as possible. Exhale, pull, inhale, control as you bring it back, working your biceps as you pull forward, but working your triceps as you control it on the way back. Keep that body still. Your core anchors your body, keeps it still. Wrists are straight. Again, breathe. Lovely. And now, keeping the shoulders back again, we bend the knees and you aim your bottom towards the band. So sit down into the band. As you sit down, pull the arms forward a little bit, just as we did before, without allowing the shoulders to come forward. Tummy muscles in. Keeping the knees behind the toes. You don't have to sit as deep as that, but you can go deeper if you feel you can, as long as you're not rounding the shoulders. So sitting down into your band, just tucked under your bottom there. If it goes to your back, make sure you keep your tummy in more and don't squat as deeply. Make it a lot smaller. Just one more, keeping those shoulders back, control. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to put one foot on the band now at the bottom of the band and hold it in the hand on the same side. My other leg goes slightly behind, feet are about hip width and they both point forwards. Shoulders back, so it's not one foot behind the other. Leaning slightly forwards, keeping those shoulders back. This arm isn't really going to do anything, but I'm going to lift this back leg and lift the band and the arm to shoulder height, squeezing my bottom. And then I'm going to bend the back knee with the heel off at the back and take the band out wide to shoulder height with my arms straight. Don't know if you can see that. So again, forward comes the arm, I squeeze my bottom, I lean forward. Don't lift the leg too high, the leg is straight there, the back leg. And then bend the back knee, my chest is upright and I feel a little stretch in the hip. Shoulders back, arms straight. You drop it slightly as you bring that arm in front. Try not to twist away from the band. And then you go into your split squat. Just do one more. Breathe as you do it, squeeze your bottom into your split squat, and then I'm going to step in. You can do more of those if you like. I'm going to change sides. So standing on the band at the bottom, you want it to be normal tension when your arm is at shoulder height. So that's where you should hold the band. Mine's quite short, so I'm holding it at the top. Take the other leg behind, shoulders back, and I'm going to just lift the band to shoulder height, lean forwards a bit, balance, squeeze my bottom on that back leg, keep the back leg straight, and then I sweep the arm out wide and I bend the back knee and my chest comes up right there, feeling a little stretch in the hip on that back leg. Squeeze your bottom into your balance. Keep breathing, make sure you don't twist. Keep the pelvis facing forwards and then into your split squat. Got a couple more to go. Breathe, keep the shoulders back and down, squeeze. And the last one. Remember not to turn the chest, shoulders or hips. Keep the breath flowing. And then we're going to step in and remove the band. Well done. I'm going to take the band or throw it gently to the front of the mat, and we're going to bring ourselves to the floor. So standing at the back of your mat, shoulders back and down, raise the arms, curl down through the vertebra, chin to chest, trying to keep your shoulders away from your ears. Walk the hands forwards. When your hands get to the front of the mat, drop your knees to the floor gently, untuck your toes, and just have a little stretch here. So from here, come up onto all fours. Keeping your shoulders strong, just walk your hands forward a little more, take your knees back a little more, and keeping those shoulders really strong, bend your elbows and drop yourself gently to the floor. Curl the belly and then the chest down. We're going to work the back. So you should have your band handy. Hold it about shoulder width, maybe slightly wider, with your knuckles on top. Shoulders back and down, legs relaxed, feet relaxed, bottom relaxed. So we always look at the mat because you want the back of the head in line with the spine. Tummy muscles in, we're going to lift the chest a couple of inches, pull the band wide without bending the wrists, return the band to normal tension, lower the chest. So we'll do that a few more times. We breathe in to lift, we exhale to pull, we inhale to return to normal tension, we exhale to lower. So let's do 3 more of those. Keep those shoulders back. Try and keep your feet relaxed, your legs relaxed. Placing the hands on the floor, shoulders back, pull the tummy in, take a breath in, and as you breathe out you can push up, keeping your bottom flat for as long as you can, and then just walk your hands back. Just scoop the pelvis, chin to chest, tummy in, round your shoulders. And now we're going to bring the feet round the front. And take the band under the feet. Sit as tall as you can. Soften the knees a little bit. Try and be vertical. Elbows tucked in. Palms face each other, holding the band with the thumbs on top. And just pull back. Try and get the elbows to go behind your body without shrugging up. So exhale, pull. Keep the elbows close to the body. Inhale, slowly release. Using the core to keep your body really still. Back of head in line with the spine, so don't jerk the chin forwards. And try and avoid taking the elbows wide. Wrists as straight as possible. Just one more. Really control it on the way back. Try not to use your thigh muscles. That's why we keep the knees soft. Lovely. Then remove one foot from the band and bend your legs a little bit. And keeping the band under the other foot, we're going to take a pelvic scoop. So I'm going to tip the pelvis backwards as I pull the tummy in. And then I'm going to lift the leg and drop back. Maybe not all the way for this first one. Breath in here, try not to shrug the shoulders. And as you exhale, come back up. And as you come back up, your leg lowers and then you sit tall. So we'll do that again. Take a pelvic scoop, drop back, use the tummy muscles. Maybe you'll go a little further, maybe you won't go as far. Make sure you're not straining the neck and shoulders. Breath in, as you breathe out, can you bring yourself back up? The sooner you lower your leg, the easier it's going to be. So if you keep your leg lifted for longer, it's going to be harder. Sit tall, breath in, as you breathe out, scoop. Control vertebra by vertebra, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. I'm going to go all the way this time. Breath in at the bottom, as you exhale. Remember, you lower the legs sooner to help you get up. Try and use your tummy muscles. We do one more. So sit tall, scoop, roll back. Vertebra by vertebra. Sneak a little stretch in there of the hamstring. Breath in, switch on the abs, and as you exhale, come up. Try and keep your leg lifted for as long as you can. When you get to the top, sit tall and we'll change legs. So starting again with a sitting tall position, a scoop, and we won't go too far. For the first one, breath in, and as you exhale, come back up. So that should be easier. So we gradually increase the difficulty. Sit tall, shoulders back and down, scoop, abs in, vertebra by vertebra, control, don't hold your breath. Breath in here, and as you exhale, up you come. Try not to grip the band too tightly, keep your fingers nice and fairly relaxed on the band. And again, breath in, as you exhale, scoop and roll back. I'm going to go all the way, control it through that difficult part. Try not to take tension to your neck. Breath in, and as you exhale, coming up. The sooner you lower the leg, the easier it will be. And that's a great thing because you can really develop this exercise each time you do it and you can see improvements. Control, fingers, hands relaxed on the band, use your abs. I'm going to sneak in a little stretch here, the hamstring, and then breath in, switch on the abs, and as you exhale, we come up. Trying to keep the other foot on the floor, it's quite hard. When you get to the top, we're going to put both feet back in the band. Bring the feet together, maybe bend the knees a bit. I've switched my hands around on the band, so I've got thumbs pointing upwards, palms facing each other. And you do what works best for you. Another scoop from a sitting tall position, going down with both feet in the band, vertebra by vertebra. You can use the band to help you get back up when you've got both feet in it, and we're keeping the feet on the floor. Having said that, you can make it harder. So you can either keep going like that with your feet on the floor, or you can lift them and then try to tip your pelvis backwards, try to do a pelvic scoop, which is pretty hard to control. Take it down and use the band to help you bring your legs further over than you would normally go. Try and use the tummy muscles as well. And then possibly using momentum, can you get back up? Bit of swing is okay, but we want as little swing as possible. So I'm going to touch down, sit tall. Remember, you don't have to take your feet off the floor. You can keep them on the floor, but I'm going to lift them here. Control through that tricky bit. Breathe. And then once your head's down, you can pull the band and pull your feet further over. If that means you've got to widen your arms, that's fine. Gives you a bit more mobility, a bit more flexibility through the spine and the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Now, can you get back up without using too much of a swing? Don't worry if you can't. You have to swing a little bit, and that's fine. I'm going to go one last time. So scooping. I'm going to stay down this time. And now I'm going to remove one leg from the band and put it on the floor, and I'm going to keep the other leg in the band. I'm going to roll onto my side with the leg that's in the band on the underside towards the floor. So carefully keep that leg in the band. And you can see that my top hand is holding both bits of the band. It's my lower leg that's in the band, and I'm lying on my lower arm. I'm going to lift that top leg, I'm going to bend it slightly, try and keep it relaxed. You can touch the foot down to the floor. I'm going to turn my heel that's in the band slightly upwards towards the ceiling. And I'm going to lift. Try not to roll backwards. So you can lift your foot off the floor at the back. Just try and keep your pelvis still, the top hip directly above the bottom hip. You can see I'm keeping my bottom leg straight and working that inner thigh, but I'm also pulling in my tummy muscles and trying not to tense my shoulders. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. One more. Try to keep your balance, especially if you've got your back foot off the floor. Now, can you bring that knee slightly in front? It does get in the way a little bit when you're trying to lift that leg, so you might need to bring it even more in front or straighten it out a little bit, that top leg. So can you now keep your balance with that leg in front? If you need to touch down, that's fine, but just means you're not balancing, you're not using your core as much. So try and keep your pelvis stable. Just a little lift, it doesn't have to be a lot. Breathe and try not to tense your shoulders. Try and keep all the tension in the core. Okay, so now I'm going to roll onto my back, keeping my head down and keeping this same leg in the band, but I'm going to separate the pieces of band now. So I've got one hand on each side holding the band. So I'm keeping that leg in the air. Remember, this is the same leg that's in the band. I'm going to scoop the pelvis, switch on the abs, my back flattens out to the mat, and maybe, if you feel you can, lift that bottom leg off the floor and even extend it a little bit. This top leg is going to make a kind of rainbow shape across the body and out wide. And the rules are, if I can call them rules, you're not allowed to let your pelvis follow. So keep your body still as possible. This is just the leg. Let's lift the upper body, trying to keep the hands relaxed, the shoulders relaxed, the neck relaxed. And see if you can stay lifted while you continue this movement. If you feel that your neck is tensing, then put both bits of the band in the same hand as the leg that's up and put the other hand behind your head. So you've got something to support your head and neck, but do use it. Do let your head relax there. So using the tummy muscles, bend this lower leg, you put it back on the floor, you can straighten it, have it on the floor, or you can straighten it and have it lifted. Breathe. Remember, the head is resting, but you're trying to use this band of muscles here to keep you lifted. Let's bring it back to centre. Let's all put the hand behind the head. So if you haven't got the hand behind the head, put it there now and put both bits of the band in that hand. And then we bring the lower foot to the floor if it isn't, and then you lower. Excellent. I'm going to do everything on the other side. So I'm going to switch the leg that's in the band. And I'm now going to do the inner thigh work on this other leg. I'm going to swivel around so it's easier to follow, so that I'm facing the camera. So I'm lying on that lower arm. I'm holding both bits of the band with my top arm, but it's my lower leg that's in the band. I'm bringing the top leg up to about hip height, bending the knee and taking the foot behind. My hips are stacked, that's one hip above the other. My tummy is in, and you can use a cushion to support your head if you prefer. And I'm flexing the foot and lifting and lowering, leading with the heel. Trying not to wobble. You can touch that foot down at the back, but try not to roll backwards as you lift that lower leg. Don't grip the band too tightly, don't tense your shoulders as you lift. So let's have exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Even though you are working your inner thigh, it's coming from the core. So it starts off at the core. Imagine it starting there and then travelling to your inner thigh to lift. Just do one more, and then we will try and move this top leg in front and carry on the same movement. So you might be able to position your legs so that you can touch down, or you might want to straighten your leg. Remember, it starts off with the core. Try to keep your balance. If you've got your foot lifted, try not to roll this top hip forwards. Try not to tense your shoulders. Make this the last one. Lovely. And then we're going to roll onto our backs carefully, keeping the same leg in the band. And take this leg up to the ceiling. The other leg, foot can be on the floor with knee bent, or leg straight and on the floor, or lifted and bent or straight. So it's completely up to you. And then we're just going to take one piece of the band in each hand and allow that leg to make a nice rainbow shape. Don't let the pelvis follow. So keep the pelvis still. The job of your core is to keep your pelvis and body still, while the leg sort of challenges you, it throws you off balance a little bit. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Breathe. Now, if you want to, if you can, we can lift and continue that movement, but we don't want to feel stress and strain in the neck and shoulders. We want to use this band of muscle here. So keep strong. But if you feel, no, it's not working for me now, then both bits of the band in the same hand as the leg that's in the air, and put the other hand behind your head and support. Support your head. Breathe. Let the head feel relaxed in that hand. You've got a nice stretch up the back of your leg here. You can probably feel a bit of an inner thigh stretch as you take that leg wide after we've just worked the inner thigh. Breathe. Okay, so we're ready to bring it down. So if you haven't got one hand behind your head already, do so now. Put it behind your head. Put the foot down, breath in, and as you breathe out, let's lower ourselves down to the floor. Lovely. And then gently bring that leg down. Unhook it from the band. Take the arms overhead. Allow your knees and toes to flop outwards. And just hold it here. Breathe. Bring your feet and knees together, bend the knees but not too much. Scoop the pelvis. Can you come up to sitting? You might need to use a bit of momentum, but use as little as possible. So switch on the abs, breath in, as you breathe out, up you come. I find it easier to keep my legs straighter, but don't lock the knees. The sooner you bring the arms in front, the easier it is. So if you want to make it harder, keep your arms up by your ears. Use the core. Lovely. And when you get to the top, take your legs out wide, sit tall, shoulders back and down, tummy muscles in. We're going to raise the arms without shrugging, rotate towards one leg, flex the foot, breath in and keeping your shoulders back and down. As you exhale, lean forward with your back straight. Don't jut your chin forwards. Bring that band under the foot. And just sink a little deeper, just pulling the band maybe a little bit, keeping the shoulders back. Lead with your chest, stretching into the hamstring. Try and keep your bottom on the floor. Okay, now we're going to come back up, so we're going to lift and relax the foot, breath in. As you breathe out, use your tummy muscles, try and lift with a straight back. Rotate the other way, keeping the shoulders back and down, breath in. As you breathe out, lean forward, keeping your back straight, try not to round your shoulders. Flex that other foot, place the band underneath, shoulders back, sink a little deeper, pull the band a little bit if you want to, just hold and breathe. And then we're going to unhook, so try to keep the shoulders back, relax the foot, use the core to lift you. Breath in, as you breathe out, up you come, return to centre, lower the band. Lovely. We're just going to stretch out the thighs to finish off, so we'll do this without the band. Just shuffle yourself round to one side, take a hold of your foot and just pull that foot gently behind till you feel a stretch in your quad. And then from there, bring that same leg in front and see if you can cross it over the other leg and rotate. I'm using my elbow to just press my leg further over. So I'm stretching around the outer thigh, I'm rotating the chest, I'm keeping the shoulders relaxed. This bottom leg doesn't have to be bent, you can straighten it out if you prefer, but just get a little bit of purchase on that twist. My hand is on the floor behind my body. And return to centre. Let's very carefully uncross the legs and take them over to the other side. You can go down onto your elbow if you prefer. Foot behind and gently push your hip forwards. So you're feeling that stretch through your hip and thigh. Shoulders nice and relaxed. You might lift the leg, you might keep it on the floor even. And then we're going to bring it around the front and cross it over. Remember, this leg can straighten out if you prefer. I'm going to keep mine bent. Cross it over. So you're sitting on the floor, your pelvis is more or less equal. It might be slightly lifted on one side. And then place your elbow, your arm around the outside of the knee. Walk your hand around the back, shoulders relaxed. Try and get a little bit more of a twist. So breathe through the stretch, enjoy it. And bring it back to centre very carefully. And then we're just going to take ourselves onto all fours. Scoop the pelvis, pull the tummy in, chin to chest. So from the cat stretch, you just allow your bottom to go back towards your heels until you feel that lower back stretch even more. Lovely. And now come up onto your knees, place the hands in the small of the back, tummy in, squeeze the shoulder blades together just to stretch out your chest. And release, roll the shoulders back and down. And finally, you can kneel down or stay kneeling up. Just raise the arms without shrugging and walk your fingers down your spine, going as low as you can while scooping the elbows up. Remain upright and tall, tummy in, stretching your triceps. And bring it down. If you'd rather bring your legs in front to sit, you can. Shoulders back and down, chin to chest. Turn and lift the head, look to the right. Lower the chin, turn and look to the left. Lower the chin back to centre, look straight ahead. And that's it, well done. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this workout. Please share it with your friends and anybody who you think would benefit from it. And give this video a like and let me know if you've got any requests. Take care, bye.